So I'm Sergeant Shumway, Shumway.
Can I get your first name?
Derek.
Derek. Is it D-E-R-E-K?
Derick.
Perfect. All right. And you're a sergeant with Pleasant Grove?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what can you tell us about what happened here?
So around 4 o'clock this afternoon, our officers got a call where they responded to a possible hit and run. When our first responders arrived, they found that there was a 9-year-old boy who had been hit while crossing the intersection. First aid was administered and he was transported to the hospital, and unfortunately later he did pass away from his injuries. Initially we didn't have a suspect. According to the witnesses, it was a white truck with a handicap placard, possibly an older gentleman. But since then we have identified a suspect, and we do have an active investigation going on right now where we are interviewing him and writing search warrants.
Okay, so he's not arrested, but he's in custody.
Yeah, at this point it's an active investigation, so we're not to that point yet.
Okay, and do you know if the child was in the crosswalk here?
From what I have been told, I believe he was crossing the intersection and had just entered the intersection.
Okay, see. And tell me a little bit about this street here. Is this a busy street?
2600 North is relatively busy. There's been construction over the last few years, and we try and to regulate it as best we can. But Pleasant Grove's growing, Utah County's growing, so it is increasingly getting more and more traffic.
I see. And I mean, this is a tough scene. 9-year-old, kind of something you never want to see. I mean, is this a tougher kind of scene for you guys to kind of respond to and have to investigate?
Yeah, I mean, obviously any deaths are hard, but they hit a little bit more closer to home, especially when they are younger children. And a lot of the officers and first responders and just people in the community obviously have kids around this age, and so it is a little more poignant for everybody that's involved.
Do you think there will be any update later today, or is it just it goes as it goes?
At this point, I think it'll be a little while before we have an update. Like I said, we want to be very thorough with our investigation, and these things do take a little bit of time to process, but we are in the early stages, and we are actively pursuing as best we can.
And so far, you said it was an older man.
Yeah, so far.
Okay. All right, I think that's pretty much all we got. Is there anything else important to add?
This is just a great opportunity for everyone to remember that when you are driving, or if you're a pedestrian or cyclist, to be mindful and vigilant, pay attention, especially in the intersections and neighborhoods, crosswalks, so that we can avoid any of these tragic events in the future.
I mean, I know this is too early to really tell, but I mean, right here, this crosswalk obviously, but it doesn't have any of those flashing lights or anything like that. Is this the kind of thing that gets those conversations started to add more kind of mitigation?
Hopefully, in a perfect world, we could have all the technology everywhere that we could, and I hate to say that sometimes it does take events like this, but that's something that we can definitely look into in the future.